Well then, let's go into Orion. Let's click Surf. If it hits, we know it's not water absorbed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the first time since the last time is that time, right about that time, for your favorite Pokemon challenge and mine. My name is Sebastian Todd III. You may call me ST3, and this is the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke, the first series on the channel, but certainly not the last. And we are going to jump right into this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have Crimson up here for a reason, because right now we are going to do a quick cut and show you some footage of what happened during our grinding session. So with that, we will be right back. It is shiny. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So as you saw in that little cutaway there, boom, we caught ourselves a shiny cat. We named it Shiny Cat. This is Meowth. We have not done anything with Meowth other than put it in the box with our other shiny there, but did want to show you that during the grinding montage, despite all of the other Pokemon, and by all the other Pokemon, I mean despite there being a bunch of Chansey in the area and a bunch of the Ponyta, which were the two Pokemon we predominantly saw, and it being the rare of the encounters that turned out shiny in Meowth. But we will take that, and again, not adding it to the team, but just wanted to show off that we caught a shiny in our grinding montage. And with that, let's take a quick look at the team recap. And as I get this pulled up, if you are here with us, we're at episode 20. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for joining us and being with us on this ride, 20 episodes in. But if you are enjoying yourself, hit the like button, subscribe. Like I said, it's the first series, but not the last here on the channel. Now let's take a look at some of the grinding we did. You can probably see some of that right here. But we got Bartlett, our Meganium up to level 41, Storm Drain, still Petal Dance, Cut, Razor Leaf, and now with Light Screen. We did not train Orion. Orion will be switched out once we get through all the places that need Whirlpool. He does have Hustle, but Bite, Surf, Whirlpool, and Waterfall. Danders, our legendary level 45, not the legendary that comes naturally, but a legendary we actually found in the wild. And caught, as you probably saw in episode 19, and if you didn't, go take a look at that and then come back here. In episode 19, our actual legendary encounter in the tower was Articuno, and not only did we not catch Articuno, it ended up struggling itself to death. It took down Brodicon with it, our slacking. So anyway, we rebuilt the team a little bit. Dander's now level 45, Zen Headbutt, Dragon Breath, Fly, and Recover. We still have Denny P67, just a couple levels extra here with Stone Edge, Hammer Arm, Earthquake now, and Rock Slide, quickly becoming the new MVP. Sunday is now on the team with Slacking Down. We brought Snorlax in adaptability with Strength, Amnesia, Crunch, and Belly Drum. And Strength with adaptability plus Belly Drum just makes us totally broken. And then we have Luca, our Lucario, level 47, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Aura Sphere, and Calm Mind. That is the team. Like I said, we have some power in the PC that we trained up that will take over for Orion when the time is right. Let us put Standers in the front so we can continue grinding our legend up a little bit. We will give her the amulet coin. Oh, I forgot we had two. So we'll give one back. Why not? Give one back to NEP67. And Bartlett was the only member of the team that we're going to really use that didn't get all the way up to. I was hoping to get everybody at least level 45. Bartlett's the only one not there, so we'll put the experience share there. And we will switch out Orion for NEP67 just because I don't think there's any double battles we'll encounter today. But if we do, it'll be NEP67 who joins the fray rather than Orion. So we did not go and get any heart scales yet. We haven't done that. That'll probably be something before the Elite Four. Always give the behind the scenes. Today, you are seeing episode 19. It is going up in just a few hours from now at time of recording. So this is Tuesday's episode that we are doing right now. And this is the only episode we're recording today. It's just a one and done. So hopefully get some more training in between now and the Elite Four. Didn't really need to heal there, but why not? While we do, your reminder, don't forget to drink your water. Not sponsored by Dasani, but if you drink from the disposable as we are here today, don't forget to recycle your bottles as well. But yeah, so today we are going to start by getting a couple more Pokeballs. I don't know where we're at in terms of all that. We're probably actually pretty good, but might as well double check while we're here, and then we will enter into Kanto and make our way up for a while. So let's see if we can sell anything first and foremost. We'll keep the fossil. We're getting closer and closer. We will sell some things, I think, here. Maybe not a lot. Maybe not at all. If you didn't notice, I did teach up. I used the one heart scale we had. We have 76. I think we're fine. Never mind. Use the one heart scale we had to get Aura Sphere on Lucario, and I did teach it Calm Mind, which we had as a TM, and decided to run it special. Aura Sphere is one of the two better fighting moves that Luca got. Of course, the other one being, close combat, which is physical, but only 5 power points on close combat lowers our special defense, I think it is. So we decided to just run them special. And so we got a dragon move on there now. We got a dark move. We got a fighting move, and we have Calm Mind to boost them all. So if we get a chance to set up, we will. We are at Route 27. This is a brand new encounter. So let's see what we're going to get here. It is a Lily. I got no feelings to this, no reaction. Good, bad, indifferent. It's not terrible. Just probably not going to be on the team for a while. And we don't really have anything that we can weaken it down too well with. I suppose Orion or Bartlett, maybe. Let's try Orion. I don't think it gets anything super strong in terms of grass moves, so I'm not too worried Orion being quad weak to grass. And it being rock, because it being rock, bite shouldn't do a ton. It does more than half, which kind of surprised me. I thought about half. I thought we'd have a harder time deciphering whether or not it was worth trying another bite or not. But it makes it easier for us to just throw some great balls. So close to first ball basting, but not so lucky today. The downside, too, we've talked about this before, of losing Venus a few episodes back, our Ivysaur, is that unlike Ivysaur, Meganium does not have sleep pattern. Maybe if we go farm some heart scales in between this recording and the next, maybe we can get some heart scales. Noticing all the gray in the beard, but that's okay. Don't really have a good name for a Lilip. So we're going to go with Bo. Little Bo Peep had a Lilip. I don't know. We're going to go with Bo. And Bo's going to go to the PC. So that is one of 4 encounters that we will get probably in this episode, depending on if any of the trainers we end up facing have anything broken on their team that really just slow us down. we're trying to bounce back this episode. It was the heart-wrenching end there, the crit ice beam that took down Brodicon, our slacking, but we can't let that haunt us. We got to move forward and build our own team. Did I not use the repel? I swore I just did. That's okay. There is an Oddish that we will run from, not because we are afraid of Oddish, but because we are trying to get through the trainers and get some more encounters. So we'll get the items. Because you never know, we might get something totally busted that'll just help the team, either a held item or I don't even know what at this point we could get for a held item that I would actually use, because as you probably noticed, I don't use a ton of held items. A lucky egg would be phenomenal. There's so many chances that we were training on. I looked up to see if there was anybody we had in the PC that might learn Thief, because we would have gone all gung-ho on trying to thief a lucky egg. Start with Thief on every one of them, but only a handful of Pokemon even learn Thief by level up, and we don't have any of them. So, at least not yet. So, if we get that, that might be something that would be worthwhile to train up, see if we can get Thief, get ourselves a lucky egg. Of course, if we get a lucky egg between now and then that just makes life a whole lot easier. Man, tons of grinding, tons of training. Awesome to find a shiny. And I won't lie, it's so hard to tell with a Meowth about the shiny. And let's hold that thought. See what our new encounter is here. It is a Shellos. Now, I gotta say, I slept on this Pokemon for a very long time. And I need to apologize to Shellos and all of its many fans. But if you are like me and you play a lot of Scarlet and Violet, man, is Shellos very good at you build him right. He is so good in some of those Terra Raid battles. So huge shout out to Shellos, and sorry for sleeping on you for so long. Bite would probably kill, to be honest, but I think that's our best bet. Maybe that was the universe telling us not to try it. Maybe the universe is telling us to Whirlpool instead. There we go. And again, if Orion goes down, I mean, we don't want that, but it's not the end of the world. We're really probably not going to be using Orion a ton. Once we get to the Elite Four, we trained up Tentacruel in the back, which we will see probably in the next episode. Really, the big reason Orion's here is I didn't want to teach Tentacruel Whirlpool, because the moveset's pretty good without. And like I said, I'll show you more in tomorrow's episode. So on Wednesday, but his hidden power must be something like Grass, because that did a lot of damage to us. I'm going to chuck a ball. And then if he goes for another hidden power, we might have to skedaddle here. Or at least get Orion out of here. But first, Paul Bassi comes through. We don't have to worry about leaving anywhere, because we got ourselves the Shellos, which we'll definitely take. I have no good reason for this, but I tend to name mine Los Lobos after the band of the same name. I think because of the Los at the end of Shellos. I don't know. Decent water type will end up in the back because it's yet another ground typing too. We have so many ground typings for the team, including Denny P67, who's on the team. And as I mentioned, Brodicon gone down. Dander's here on the team, named after viewers who have left comments. So if you would like to have a nickname after you, leave some comments down below. And if you're this far and you're not enjoying the series so far, thank you for sticking with us anyway. Leave a comment down below with some constructive criticism of what we can do better. Squirtle, would love to encounter a Squirtle. Squirtle is, as you may have heard, my favorite Pokemon. I have loved Squirtle since the beginning. I think Squirtle is just adorable. And I am a big fan of Blastoise once it gets fully evolved. I do think, objectively speaking, that Croconaw or Feraligatr is probably a better third evolution because of Ice Fang naturally, but I would take Blastoise over Feraligatr just because the Squirtle line means more to me than Totodile. And of course, our Totodile, originally the one named after um, Andrews, turned into a Croconaw and then was promptly beat by a Weavile. So if we encounter one, we'll probably catch it. We would probably not dupes cause that. But yeah, going back to the Meowth conversation, to be honest, fought a handful of Meowth in that area and hadn't really noticed, hadn't really paid attention, I should say, and noticed that they just were Meowth there. And then one popped up, and in the footage, I think you can kind of see like the stall, the delay, because I really couldn't tell at first. TM37. Because they're so close to what they normally look like. And if you're not familiar with Nuzlocke rules, yes, first encounter is the one that you can get in a route. Force Palm, not terrible, but not great. We'll probably sell that for money. But when you encounter a shiny, most every Nuzlocker I've ever witnessed uses a shiny clause. If you run into a shiny, you can catch that also, because especially in this game, the odds are the normal odds. So it's like 1 in 8,000 something, which makes sense because we did a lot of grinding over the weekend. A lot of grinding over the weekend. And you can't see it all just by the team. Like I said, we got some power on the PC we grinded up to. Maybe in the next episode, when we get some of that other grinding complete, we'll take a look at all of the grinding that we did. Yeah, it was especially a lot of Chanseys that went down, a lot of Ponytas, and then a smattering, maybe we'll say, of Meowth. And then every once in a while, the rarest of the rare encounters in the area was a Victory Bell. Couldn't quite take it down. Ice Fang is super effective, but we are 12 levels higher, so unless it gets a crit, and even with a crit, I think we'd be fine. And we got some good moves on Danders, which is nice. Doesn't learn Psychic till she's in her 60s. Debated training her way up all the way to there, but opted against it for now, just because there is a trainer in the Elite Four with some folks in the 60s, but our rival is going to be mostly in the high 30s. So didn't want to make this so easy that we got by the rival. So not a level cap, but just trying to be mindful. Like I said, the goal was mostly 45, unless there was a move here or there that made more sense for somebody else. Now this is a little risky because this is a Togetic, not a Togekiss, so I don't think it's going to have Aura Sphere itself, or any fighting move for that matter, but it technically could. I was going to say, here's hoping Rock Slide doesn't miss. It didn't, because otherwise it would just be a little bit of a stall fest, but that's okay. It should be the end, so we should not fall asleep. And after this trainer, you'll see the last time we're going to need Whirlpool for anything in this playthrough. So before we take on the Elite Four, we will fly back. We'll delete it from Omastar because it's no fair to just keep it on him. But we will also switch out for Tentacruel, who is trained up to, I think, level 46 or 47 or so. Fly is super effective, but it's also physical, and it's a 2-turn move, which would give Metapod a chance to set up a Harden or so. So we'll just use a special. Also Stab. Dragon Breath, not super effective, but as you can see, effective enough. And I think we should put up a Repel, too, while we're thinking of it. So yeah, the hope for today's episode is to get to that rival battle and through it within roughly 40-ish minutes or so. And if we're a little bit earlier, no worries. We've had some long episodes. So if we go a little bit short today, nothing wrong with that. And if it ends up taking us an hour, we'll do it. But we've done a lot of longer episodes, so I'll try to give you a break. Tickle. Can't imagine we'll use that. That'll probably end up being sold. This trainer always has just the one Pokemon, so naturally the one Pokemon would be a Palkia. This is super effective. We are 5 levels higher, so I'm cautiously optimistic. And we get to Paralyze and full para. This could not have gone better for us, to be honest, right there, because if that had, we aren't full health, but we're not weak by any means necessary, or by any stretch of the imagination. By any definition, we are not like half health even, or maybe 3/4, if that. So if that had hit us and then one-shot us, we will add this guy's number. Typically, we try to avoid strangers' numbers, but in a pinch, if we need to, maybe we can come back and battle the Palkia for some good experience points. Yeah, that's really the end of the Whirlpool. Once we get out of here, unless we decide we want to battle that trainer again for the Palkia, we can move on from Whirlpool. I mean, you can technically use Whirlpool this way and kind of bypass some of the walking areas, but there's some hidden items up this way, so we're going to do that. If there are hidden items down below where we can Whirlpool, and I don't know about them, tell me about them. I'll go back and get them. But I am not aware of them. And it's Monday. We're 20 minutes in, and we have another question of the day. So the question of the day, let us know in the comments. What did you do this weekend? What fun stuff did you do? My weekend was pretty relaxed, pretty chill. A couple Bruins games on TV. The wife is battling a bit of a cold, so when she wasn't working, trying to let her heal up as much as she could so she could work, but also just so she can kind of relax. And then otherwise, grinding here. Took advantage of the time and the opportunity to get as much grinding done as we did. Possibly could have done a little bit more, but nothing wrong with doing some other things too. But really, I just relaxed and caught up on some chores. The fun stuff like laundry and all that fun stuff. I don't know why we're missing so much. Did our accuracy fall with one of the attacks? It probably did. That's okay. Dragon Breath will take down the Marshtomp. And there's a Latios to go with our Latios. And Latios has been a pain in our butt earlier in this endeavor, but I feel like if we can connect, then we should be alright. We're 11 levels higher. It's super effective. And it's a crit. We'll take the crit. And we'll get a level on the Meganium. Yeah. Nice chill weekends too are sometimes good because, sometimes it's just nice to relax a little bit, not have to worry about too much. And the weather so far this week, today, has been gorgeous. It's supposed to be decent more or less most of the week. If the forecast is to be believed, and that's 50-50, right? But we'll take that. And starting to be, those nice days are getting nicer. Like a nice sunny day, starting to see like 40s. And then eventually we'll see some 50s. We still have, some snow, but we got a big snowstorm last week, and already at least half of that, maybe 2/3 of it's already melted back away. So ideally, this nice weather will get a little bit nicer, and maybe in a week or two, when we have some of these days, we can get to the grill and really start embracing spring. Because who doesn't want a little springtime right now? Wow, Entei. Okay. Well, we got Earthquake now, so we're not too afraid of a high-level Entei, but geez, that's the third legendary we fought in this trek so far. if I'm counting right. Palkia, Latios, now Entei. So that could have been a lot worse. And this is part of why we grinded up in between episodes. And we will not stand for Meganium because, well, we are quad weak to grass. And while it would be fun to do a Meganium versus Meganium battle, we don't have anything super effective on it. On Meganium that can take down Meganium, so the Reflect is smart. This will probably not one shot because of it, but if it does enough Dragon Breath, we'll probably take it down. Wow, that did even littler than I thought it would do. Even less? Even less. Sometimes it's hard to believe I have a master's in English. I swear. Sometimes I talk and I'm like, what? What words were you going for? Now the fight did do enough that Dragon Breath could take it down, so we'll take the win. And unlike before with the Palkia, we will not give our number as strangers. Although it would make sense, Meganium, decent experience. So we're in a new route. We have to battle one trainer at least, and then we can get get an encounter. Um, Oftentimes I like to. There's a little place up here, a little house that heals us up. So if I can make it there and heal before we get the encounter, we will. If we can't, well, then we can't. Such is life. One encounter here, and then an encounter in Victory Road itself. And after Victory Road, of course, or near the end of Victory Road, the very tail end, is when we will conquer our fear one last time. We still got 4 or 5 trainers we can face, so should be a pretty decent episode in terms of time wise, and then do some training in between. And then on Wednesday, we will take on the Elite Four, which will be the whole episode. So if it only takes us 10 minutes, it only takes us 10 minutes. But if it takes us half hour 45, takes us 90 minutes, that'll be the episode. Is just taking on the Elite Four. I guess if we somehow steamroll and get through it in like 5 minutes, all right, then we'll really embark in Kanto for real. But I can't imagine that we're going to have that easy a time. But that will be our plan for next episode. This episode, a couple more trainers, a couple more encounters, including right in this grass here. We're going to get it before I can even battle the trainer. Nothing wrong with that. It is a Duskull. I don't think we've even seen a Reaper Cloth, let alone me selling one. So, we're 17 levels higher. Dragon Breath almost certainly kills. But Bite definitely does. This is super effective, but we're 17 levels higher. I'm really hopeful this doesn't kill and that we can get the paralysis and then throw a Pokeball. If it kills, I'm sorry, Duskull, it's going to kill. I like Duskull, Dusknoir, whole line, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that. We got a couple of ghost types still in the PC that we haven't touched since like episode 3 or 4. Magius is back there, Banette is back there, so not going to lose a lot of sleep over missing out. We had a Ghastly, we had the Gengar for a little bit, 2 or 3 episodes ago. Wendy went down. It's not stab, but it is super effective, so Fly takes down the Sceptile. The only grass starter we have not yet encountered in this run. We had Ivysaur. We have Meganium. In the PC, we have a Torterra still chilling out. We've yet to see Trico or any of that line yet, so for an encounter, I should say. Obviously, we just saw one to battle, but not one to catch. One more chance for us to get one. While we battle these last 4 trainers, let's think about what would be ideal to encounter in Victory Road that we could hopefully catch. I think we'll come back to the old adage there of we don't have a strong fire type on the team. That might be a way to go. One One of the things we have to think about is Denny P67 has been phenomenal for us, and getting Earthquake is great too. I'll save this conversation for tomorrow because we've got something in the PC that's also got a ground typing that we might want to consider putting on the team instead of Denny P67, but it doesn't have Water Absorb. So that's something we keep in mind too. Is Denny P67 is good in part because it's just a good Mon Rhydon, right? But the reason it's still Rhydon is it's got Water Absorb. We have the Protector. We could theoretically throw the Protector on and evolve her up. But the problem is we don't know what Rhyperior's ability is going to be. Now, would it be great if one of these trainers throws out a Rhyperior? We can try a Surf with Orion if it has Water Absorb. All right, well, there's a no-brainer, but the likelihood of it keeping Water Absorb is slim to none. I mean, Rhyhorn had Runaway and Rhydon Water Absorb, so not likely. Not likely going to keep it, but that's okay. Yeah, a nice fire type would be good in there. I mean, if we can get a really good water Pokemon, we wouldn't say no to like something better than Tentacruel. No offense to Tentacruel. Could play a good part, good role in this. But there's no fairy type in this gen, so the poison is kind of wasted, especially since most of the grass types, or so many of the grass types, I should say, not most, but so many of the grass types have a poison as a backup that poison isn't super effective on grass. So it's still kind of nerfed in this gen. We do have it ready to go if we want it. Which, as of right now, between the two, it is a bit stronger than Omastar. The moveset's a little bit better, more diverse. So that would likely be the way that we go. But a decent water type, such as a Blastoise, preferably something fully evolved. But like I said, we're going to grind in between episodes here. So I was confused from it because I thought that was the Magic Coat was the one that like reflects it back to you or whatever. But I'm like, we haven't even hit yet. How is it going to attack? Between Belly Drum and, well, this is the same type of attack. Never mind. I'm going to say between Belly Drum and our ability, our stab strength is just going to be through the roof. But we're using Crunch there because Crunch is super effective. And we Belly Drum first just because Grumpigs can be sneaky and have have something that can take you down with like I think it's a Mirror Coat or is that Magic Coat? One of the two, right? That reflects special move damage back on you. Another Palkia. That's the fourth legend, the second Palkia. Again, we're higher level. Dragon Breath took down the slightly higher one, so feel confident. Wow, it did not one shot, and it has Dragon Claw. This beats us. Maybe did it crit? No, we had to two shot the last Palkia. We did have to two shot the last Palkia. All right. Well then, let's go into Orion. Let's click Surf. If it hits, we know it's not Water Absorb. At the very least, we will know that much. It does not have Water Absorb. So I think that tells us everything we need to know about Rhyperior, doesn't it? Rhydon is probably the wave. Sorry. Couldn't resist it. Couldn't resist it. But we got to see one finally. We've been asking for it for a few episodes now, so we finally get to see one. We now know that we are better off with Rhydon. Yes, Rhyperior stats are like 50 base points across, spread out through everything better. does it have Water Absorb? And Water Absorb just really helps out our rock and ground type. Alright, so there's one more trainer here. I think it's only a Pokemon or two. We got another item we can grab. We'll then heal up. We'll go in, we'll get our encounter. Once we get the encounter, it's pretty smooth sailing. We'll throw up a repel. Excuse me, we'll pick up a bunch of items. And then we will take on our rival. Now, I want to be smart here. I know we could heal, but let's just switch out Danders, who's a little bit low right at the moment. Then EP67 resists everything that Pidgey has. Pidgey didn't even attack, which is fine. Pidgey's probably going to outspeed us regardless. Twister's not going to do anything. You know, another fun thing we could do, I was just thinking we could sell the Protector because we know now, right? But what we could do is once we beat the game and we get through Red, we could always pull the Protector out, put it on EP67, and just evolve her to C. Just to see what it would have been. Let me know in the comments below. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to sell the Protector? Do you want me to hold it? And at the end of the series, we can take a look. I mean, it could have Pure Power, too, which isn't as defensively convenient, but like Pure Power or Huge Power. I mean, we one-shot it with Surf, but that's not going to change with either one of those, I don't think, so. And there's some more money for us, too, with the Sea Incense. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. We can either hold it and try it at the end, or we can just sell it and get, I think, like $1,500 and get an Ultra Ball, get a Pokeball, and a prayer. Now, depending on this encounter, how easy this goes, we may run back down and heal up real quick just before we actually go through Victory Road. It's better safe than sorry. But if it's a relatively easy encounter, you know, Blastoise for Alligator would be nice. Don't really want, Mudkip line just because, again, it's another ground type, and we have a lot of ground typings on the team, but we take it if that's what we're going to get. And Empoleon would be fine. We would take that. All right, let's see what we get. Another ground type, but this one is near and dear to my heart for reasons we will explain, presuming we can catch this. So, ground type moves are super effective against Orion because he is part rock. And all of our water moves obviously are super effective against Donphan, and of course it goes for Magnitude. I was really hoping he wouldn't. Again, we're done with Orion, so I'm not going to purposely let him go down. I'm going to try to save him, but I also want to see if we can Donphan down. I was hopeful for another flinch or two there, because a big Magnitude takes us down. We can survive like a 5 or a 6. And just to be on the safe side, let's throw an Ultra Ball right off the bat. We're not even going to waste Great Balls or Pokeballs. We'll try the Ultra Ball. Did not work. We got Triple Jiggle, but it didn't work. Here's a Magnitude 7. This probably takes down Orion. If he lives by a sliver, we pull him out. He does live. We will get him out. And who can take some Magnitudes? Bartlett should be able to. It's Grass type. We'll see right now. Level or Magnitude 6. Yeah, we ate that. All right. And we'll just start throwing some Pokeballs. This is our last encounter until we get into Kanto properly, so unless we find another shiny, but the likelihood of that at this point is pretty slim. We might still have Poison Powder on Bartlett, so we could theoretically put this on a timer. Magnitude 9 doesn't get much bigger. Oh, we ate that. We tanked that. I don't think this will help us at all because I think this, yeah, special. Pretty sure most of Don Fan's moves are going to be physical. We will heal just to be safe. Like a magnitude 9 or 10 with a crit could easily take us out. We don't want to lose Bartlett. Yes, we got some backups, but we don't want to have to use them. Debating if we want to try to heal up Orion and then take another stab at a couple of bites, but not really. Here's a magnitude 10. I think we can take one more of those, possibly even a crit magnitude 10. So we'll throw another ball first. Another triple jiggle. This is a risk, but we're going to risk this. Because if he comes back with another magnitude 10, if he kicks out, and he does kick out, we got lucky, went for assurance. We're going to heal back up. I mean, it's not like Don Fan's coming on the team, so maybe we don't want to waste everything here, but specifically our potions. But we do want the Pokemon. We do want Don Fan in the box, so if we can catch it, we will. Kicks out after 2. Really nice for Don Fan to just stay on the ball. Another triple jiggle. This might necessitate a hyper potion. We're alright for one more. Ooh, triple jiggles on this encounter. That definitely necessitates a hyper potion. And the good thing, because if this had crit where we were at for health, we might have been in trouble. We might have a dust ball. If he kicks out of this, we might think about he doesn't even shake. Works better in a cave. We're in a cave. What's the harm? I mean, is what it is, right? Another magnitude 7. He's getting some high rolls on these magnitudes. We're not throwing the Master Ball. I'm wondering if we would have had any success with the Quick Ball against the Articuno. Obviously, no way to find that out now. Another triple jiggle. Come on, Don Fan. If we somehow get to 35 potions left, like we end up using 5 more after this, then I think we're just going to kill the Don Fan. There's just, we have so many great ground types. It's just, it's not coming on the team right now. Unless we find out it too has water absorb, in which case it could be the primary backup to Denny P67, but there it is. All right. So the reason we wasted so much time and effort on that isn't wasted. And while there are Pokemon that later resemble this animal more in future generations, specifically Paparaja, um, this is an elephant, and my grandfather's favorite animal are elephants. So I always name this after my grandfather, my late grandfather. He loved them to pieces. You got to see one on his 80th birthday. Iggy is one of the nicknames we had for him because Iggy Pop, Grandpa, Iggy Pop. Anyway, we will nickname that after my grandfather, who is one of my favorite people of all time. But yeah, he, for his 80th birthday, we coordinated it, but my aunt took him to a zoo and he saw his elephant. And it's the first time in like recorded history that he like swore. Rarely ever swore. He said something like, "Damn, that's an elephant." It wasn't even like a big swear. It's like, "Damn." I had to think of it and whether or not I wanted to even. I knew it wasn't bad, so but we try not to swear on the channel. Not because I don't swear. I swear like a sailor outside of this, but I want to keep this for everybody. Anybody can watch it. Like I said 1,000 times, we're trying to build a community. So didn't really want to encounter another Pokemon, and this is why we did not keep in Danders earlier. We want to put up the repels, but I was talking about Gramps and sidetracked myself there. We did heal, which was nice, but and just to be safe, because our next big encounter will be an encounter with the rival, we will waste a higher promotion for that, but way better safe than sorry at this point in the run, because while we've done some training, we got a couple Pokemon in the back that are a little bit higher level than what you've seen before. Rather not rebuild the team if we can help it, really. I think if we get a good encounter in Kanto, maybe when we get to the level 70 legendary, we can talk about it. If the legendary is great, we have the Master Ball, so we could throw it, and we can manipulate the Kanto playthrough, so we can get that as soon as possible. Probably be episode 3 before we can even get it, like episode 3 in Kanto. So like 24, 25, whatever would be of the whole thing. But so the Don fan put us a little off track. We're a little bit now at the 40, almost 46-minute mark, but this won't take us long to get to our rival. We are going to pick up all the items on the way as we go, but we have nothing else of note. There's no trainers in here. This is all just encounter and rival, so barring too many misclicks, we should probably be there within about 45 seconds. Maybe a minute. This is a good place to have gotten a misclick, because if you do that, you have to reset the boulder and all that. Another Soothe Bell. Nothing wrong with that. Not the Lucky Egg, which is what we're hoping for, but that is okay. Not the end of the world that we don't have a Lucky Egg. We've made do just fine without it. And then between episodes, I might grab a Rock Smash Pokemon and go get that item there. And we might want to think about at some point, selling the Super Repels and buying Max, or if we get enough money, just buying a bunch of Max Repels instead of Super. But there's so few places that I really use Repels. All right, we got a little bit of a glitch. Let me pause the recording right here, and we'll come back and wrap up. So hold one moment. And we are back. What up? Do a little wave for the editing version of me. We cleared the glitch. We are moving on. I would clear the glitch in game, but what I found is, unlike some folks that I watch do it, they get an encounter or walk into a room and it clears it. For us, that hasn't been the case. Basically, you have to save and then reset real quick. And well, I don't think you guys would be too offended at the rookie here for. We'll take the money of a big pearl. For having stuff from the emulator pop up, we just tried to avoid it just to be a little bit cleaner and all that. So, just a quick pause. Took me about 30 seconds, 45 maybe, but. And then trying to get better about the countdowns and all that. So, well, I know we're at the 48+ minute mark here. I gotta remember to take off like 10-15 seconds from just trying to sync things up. At some point, we're hopeful that we can actually sync the audio so you can have the gameplay audio. As you've seen, I I can record the gameplay audio, but I can only do it with my voice. I can't figure out how to separate those yet. And I've struggled mightily at syncing the gameplay with voice to the video. But we will get there. So we are in the rival battle, the final one before we take on the Elite Four, and this is how we are going to wrap up this episode. Dragon Knight's a little bit scary, but we have super effective Dragon Breath. We got the paralysis, and even with the agility we outsped, we took it down pretty easily. Altaria is another dragon-type Pokemon. Danders is super effective still. This should do pretty good damage, if not one shot. We're only 9 levels higher, but I don't think Altaria is quite as strong. Well, I guess it will live. We get another paralysis, though. We will take that. And Mist doesn't do much of anything to us. Alright, 2 up, 2 down. So far, so good for Danders. Weeping Bell. We will keep in Danders, and we will fly to take down Weeping. Actually, you know what? We don't have to fly. Weeping Bell is part poison as well, so Zen Headbutt should be super effective. And should be a one-shot, because we are part psychic. And there we go. Alright, Danders so far carrying the team. Graveler's coming in. Graveler has the same super effectiveness against us as we do against it, but we are going to be higher level. By 11 higher, we're 11 levels higher. So if we outspeed, we should one-shot with an Earthquake because he is part rock. And we do outspeed. So Denny P67 comes in to clean up the Graveler. And then there were 2. Shaman. Shaman is grass unless this is sky form. It's not, so it's grass type. We will hit it with a fly. And as long as it doesn't protect or something, we should be fine. It did not protect. Again, this isn't stab, so I'm not entirely surprised that didn't one-shot. Magical Leaf should do next to nothing to us. 9 points of damage. And I'm guessing a Dragon Breath should take it down. Dragon Breath did. And Rhyperior. Do we? Do we do it? Do we do it? Do we do it? We do it. We do it. We do it. We do it. Because if we outspeed the Rhyperior, we're 9 levels higher. It is evolved. We're not. Earthquake would one-shot it. We outspeed. Earthquake should one-shot because Rhyperior, like Rhydon, is part rock. That bar is moving slower than I would like. He lived on like 1. It didn't pop to say he had sturdy. Speed harshly falls, but I imagine that... Oh, he takes himself down. We easily resist this. Residual damage to Rhyperior. This is why we conquer our fear. Fear is not wise. Fear plays recklessly, with reckless abandon. And we calm, keep our poise. We can take down fear. And sometimes it's easiest to take down fear by letting fear take down itself. As we did there, we helped it. Nothing to fear, including fear itself, because it will take down with 1. Now, if it had takedown and then had gotten no damage, there is an ability for that, so maybe, but not the case. Repel's effects wears off right there. Perfect. So we are going to wrap up the episode right here. A little bit longer than the 45, but a little bit less than an hour. And then once we get our intro and all that in there, it should be about an hour of power. And then, like I said, tomorrow, Wednesday, we are taking on the Elite Four. So we will have a fun time with that. We will Maybe we'll make that premiere. Maybe we'll premiere that. We haven't premiered anything yet. We don't have a ton of followers yet, but maybe we'll make it a premiere. First ever on the channel. I'll be there in chat. We can watch it all together. But anyway, I'm rambling here. So let's wrap up the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, until next time.